Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinlife.com and you're joining me on board good old Tilly. It's probably about, I don't know, 7 to 8ish in the evening and the dark night's now starting to roll in. This isn't going to be a narrowboat life video, this is far more of a general write-in and really just catching up with various little bits and pieces and having a chat about notebooks, I suppose. But for anybody who is interested in how I spend the long winter nights, as the nights are starting to draw in an awful lot now, I mean, by 8 o'clock it's going to be proper dark out there, I can almost guarantee it. And yeah, really, I just thought with the current thing of people like Romany, of Romany's Realm, Carrie Harling and Vicky B, all doing things like brain dumps and stuff like that in regards to notebooks and collecting ideas together and just writing them down in one central place and sorting them out after. I thought, well, you know what, I don't really do that in particular, but it sort of inspired me and piqued my curiosity, so I started going through, because I tend to, as I'm going about my daily life, either write little things down in my general notebooks, as you know. Well, we'll have a look at a couple of them in a minute, but I have a Midori Traveller's notebook which acts as my wallet, so that's always with me, so I write a lot of things randomly down in that to remember later. Then I also obviously have a phone that I use the Notes app, sometimes email myself if I'm going to be wanting to read what I'm writing down on a computer or something at a later date. Also, Evernote I am a big user of. And equally, I then have my proper notebooks for actual writing down ideas and writing little scripts and different things. One of which I keep on the boat, and another of which sort of travels around with me sometimes. So I thought, you know what, I've got so many scattered ideas. I'll actually collect all of, basically, this year's ideas that have been undone and left unfinished. Whether that's videos, boating things, whether it's writing things. I mean, at the moment, I'm collecting up and I've decided to actually publish my poetry anthology next month, which I've had pretty much ready since last summer. And I keep sort of getting ready and thinking, yeah, this is it, I'll just publish it, and then chickening out at the last moment. But I've decided I'm going to go through it all again, give it a general bit of re-editing, maybe change a few of the poems included, and then next month, by the end of October, have that out and available publicly. Now that we're sat at the table, I'll give you a quick rundown of the various situations that I am currently writing all of my scattered notes in, and sum up what the general plan is. This is my A5 Domino Filofax that I am trying to centralise and fetch all of my organisation and planning and notes and everything basically into. I've always loved A5 paper, and as I've said in previous videos, even when I'm writing on A4 paper, I tend to fold it in half and then write on it as if it's 2 sheets of A5 side by side in columns. Anyway, that's where everything's hopefully going to go. I'm using that an awful lot for everything at the moment, but we'll get to that in just a second. The current situation is this. I am using this notebook here. This is an A5 Leuchtturm 1917 and White Lines academic pad, which basically is the pad where you can tear all of the pages out nice and easily, so that's always handy. And this I generally keep on the boat and do all sorts of random different things and all sorts of video planning and video scripts, I suppose, as well as I suppose a lot of podcasts as well have been written and recorded on this paper. Now, the White Lines paper itself is basically set up to easily scan in with augmented little QR code style things in the corner, so you can scan it and send it to things like Evernote and Dropbox and email very quickly and easily. So that gets a lot of use, and I absolutely love Leuchtturm 1917 and White Lines, so both of them making books together is perfect. So that's where there's an awful lot of notes. Then we have also got my Midori Traveller's notebook, and this comes around with me everywhere. I use this as my wallet, which I nearly opened up and showed you all of my bank cards and details. So I keep 2 notebooks in here in general. A diary, which gets changed out pretty much every month now. Once again, trying to keep this all top secret until a big reveal at some point. And also a general lined notebook. And this here is what I use for, once again, little notes for general videos and things like that I want to do. But also, I use this for just random notes, and if there's things that I want to remember for later, or shopping lists, anything like that. It's generally, shopping lists are written from the back to the front, and from the front to the back, video scripts, little notes and lists, and anything that I want to get done and think up while I'm out and about. So that also contains a lot of random little notes and bits and pieces that I haven't got around to. So that's notebook number 2. Notebook number 3 is this Field Notes steno pad. And again, this has got, well, this has even got some more random notebooks, pages that have been torn out. Another video script again there, putting that to the side. And here we are again with lots of random bits and pieces, other note things. And once again, like I say, this is my A4 paper that I like to fold over and use as A5 sheets. Yeah, as you can see, basically I've got a lot of random notes that are also in there. This book tends to travel around with me more between my mum's house, my friend's house and the boat. So that's got plenty of video ideas and bullet point lists in there that need to be fetched over and mingled with the other stuff. Then of course, we have also got my iPad. If we open this up here, you will see we've got, first of all, some random general receipts and things like that, which need to be added into my expenses list. But I use the diary, as I've mentioned in the Filofax, a huge amount. And this is currently, I think, I don't even know which week we're looking at anymore. But basically, this is getting an awful lot of use. And this, again, just what I write in here sometimes as quick notes of things that I'm doing or things that I want to get done the next day and don't, are also things that I can migrate into one final big list and then organise and plan straight from that. Of course, my iPad itself has then got something such as Evernote on it, which I once again use plenty of lists and bits and pieces in there. And of course, these date from all over the place, so I'm not going to give away all of my secrets and show you too much of what I've got in the pipeline. Yeah, so that's another place where I've got stuff. And then, of course, going even beyond that, I then have something like my phone, which obviously has got the Notes application, which again is perfect for making quick notes and jotting things down when I'm out and about. So we have got that, the iPad, the Filofax diary, the Midori that's in my pocket most of the time, Field Notes steno pad, the White Lines and Loiter 1917 notebook, and then just general things that I think up in my head and then never write down either. So that's how it is all currently scattered out everywhere. And what I'm basically going to go around and do is, as we've said, use the Filofax as the central hub. As you can see, like I've just pulled out the Filofax diary pages from that. If I'm going out off the boat or going into town or going to work, I don't obviously take the entire Filofax with me because I have to bike everywhere and I don't want to add weight to my backpack needlessly, especially if I'm going to buy some shopping to fetch back. But the Filofax itself, you've already seen some of the diary inserts that I've got taken out, but as you can see, it gets a fair old bit of usage. This was in the run-up to me fetching it back to use it properly. And I am creating slowly an ordered system for the tabs here that's going to basically be the general life one that's also going to have the to-do lists and things in. And as you can see, I've got lots of old inserts from a couple of years ago in here still. But once again, we've got video plans and that. Like I say, all this will be figured out. But I'm creating the internet without the internet, basically. And so making a database of simple things that are helpful to everyday life, like bus timetables from all the different towns and villages that I like to moor the boat up at. So we've got Chirk and Llangollen, we've got Ellesmere and Oswestry, we've got Whitchurch to Wrexham, and all of these general bits and pieces that are obviously very handy to have and know. And I'm adding more and more little features like that to this. But what I really find very useful is making my own inserts. I have a W.H. Smith ruler rather than the Filofax hole punch ruler. And as you can see, that hole punches 10 holes in, rather than just the standard Filofax 6. But what I do, if I can find my sheets, is take A4 plain paper, use a guillotine to cut it all in half, basically making it down to the A5 size, and then use the W.H. Smith ruler to then punch these holes in and write on that paper. I'm a big fan of A5 paper, as I say, and as you've seen, even A4 paper I tend to fold in half so I can then write in 2 columns across it as if that is an A5 sheet or 4 A5 sheets. And this plain paper I'm also a general big fan of. All of my little diaries pretty much have been on plain paper. And yeah, my intention now is to take all of these different things and then collate them all into one single, well, not one single list, but basically I'm going to go things and book ideas and writing and general book things. Anything written, basically, poems, books, short stories, will get one list and one page. Then another page will go to video ideas and anything related to YouTube. I may do a separate one specifically for boat ideas and boat videos, because that is a huge part of my YouTube channel. Then there's going to be the life one, which will be things that I want to do. That's little projects of useful nature, like actually painting a bit more of the boats. I've made a good start on that job, but never quite finished it. And I apologise for whatever that was. I think it's the iPad kicking off. Hide the screen of the phone just in case that's showing people's names and numbers and what they're doing. So yeah, we'll have the YouTube one, possibly the Narrowboat YouTube page, the writing page, the life page that will include all sorts of general things, like I say, the actual useful things of, right, you need to get these jobs done, you need to get this done before the winter, you need to get this, that or the other done, whether that's cutting more wood for the fire, collecting a couple of boxes worth of wood for the fire, all of those sorts of things. And then there will be a fifth list, which will be the not quite anything list, whether that is just something that I'm thinking about and don't really know what I want to do, like a very abstract idea of, I don't know, it's something that I'm making a list of stuff that I don't know what is actually going to make up that list, if that makes any sense. Something that isn't a project or a life thing that's going on that I want to do, or a video or something I'm writing, basically. So if there is anything that fits into that category, and now that I've started talking about it and can't think up a practical example, I feel like a right Wally on this video, so please don't judge me too harshly. And then what I will do with these lists is then start to filter those back into the general week-to-week diary, and what I'm going to use with the diary itself as well is a monthly list of things that I want to get done. So each month there'll be something, a sheet stuck in and marked out with one of these little tabs, which will then act as a, right then, what have I done this month? I need to do more of these boat videos, I need to get this writing done, I need to do more posts on the website, get more video posts done, and basically just go through a lot of things like that. And hopefully this brain dump concept will help me out very much. It's like I say, I've been gathering an awful lot of scattered notes and things that get forgotten. I find personally, specifically things that I write on the phone in the Notes app and on Evernote, tend to start to drift away from the top of the list and drift away from the front of my mind and then get forgotten for a long, long time. So I'm going to try and keep everything all in here, keep things written up in this notebook more than rather than using the phone, and then hopefully everything will start to gather nicely on these pages at the end of each day. Anyway, I think I've whittled on quite enough for one time. This isn't the video I intended it to be. I was going to do the actual writing up of the list, and then looking at it now and looking at it before I started filming the second section of the video, I thought, you know what? This is probably not going to be a good idea because it's going to take me so long to sit down and go through everything. Yeah, on that note, I'll say thank you very much for watching. Check out my other videos. I've got almost 100 different notebook videos, all sorts of brands, all sorts of organisers, goodness knows what. Well, you've seen a very quick, very brief, small selection of what I've got here. So check out my other videos. Feel free to like the Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Feel free even to add me personally on Facebook and Twitter for loads of boaty pictures and updates from life on the canal in general. And if you're really interested, then please feel free to check out my books about narrowboat life. They're nice and low cost, available for the Kindle. And if you're watching this video, you might be interested in my latest book, A Narrowboat and a Notebook, which features a lot of general diary entries and things drawn from just the sort of things that I keep in my lovely little Midori journal here. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day. Keep it paper-based, and I hope to see you around soon. Farewell.